stuff. So thanks, as I said, for joining me this evening. Great to have a few faces on the mat. We are going to be focusing on core again, like we were doing on Tuesday. So same focus, but variations obviously within what we're going to do in the class. Again, particularly for athletes, our core, we're talking about not just the tummy muscles, we're talking about anything really from below the diaphragm to just below the hip line. Okay, so that whole core complex. So we're talking our tummy muscles, our lats, we're talking about our back muscles, particularly our lower and middle back. We're talking about glutes, we're talking about hips, so everything in that whole area. And we're not just talking about mobilizing, we're not just talking about creating space. We're going to be strengthening a little bit into that whole area this evening. And something I didn't really touch on Tuesday, if you were with me, was the kind of the breath work associated with that. So I want to think, so I know a lot of the time when I'm talking to you in yoga, I talk about drawing the breath deep into your belly. So I want you to really focus on that this evening, but not just holding it there. So the really important part, especially when it comes to mobilizing our core, and it's actually a really nice way of mobilizing our spine, is bringing that breath nice and wide into the rib cage. So we have the capacity of our rib cage. If you just put your hands on your rib cage and take a nice deep breath and just focus on filling the actual rib cage area. We have the capacity of about 2.5 centimeters of a difference between inhalation and exhalation in the circumference of our waist there, or our rib cage. Okay, so we can really explore that as athletes, trying to increase our lung capacity. And that's going to, again, not just having that strong core, but it's going to have that extra little aerobic endurance for our activities as well. And so that's the inhale, okay? But then on the exhale, equally, I want you to really focus on engaging the core muscles, particularly the lower core muscles, to really press every last little bit of air out of the body, okay? So there's a lot of stuff to be thinking about, I know, when you're flowing through the poses, but I do want you to bring a nice strong focus to your breath this evening if you can. So again, we're just going to start in a nice, easy cross-legged. Hopefully it's getting a little bit easier, just allowing the knees drop out. Again, if you need to get a little cushion to prop the sit bones forward and just feel that nice release in the lower back, a little bit of strength into the tummy muscles. We're going to open the palms. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms out, reach it up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling, and then exhale, press the palms forward, really actively stretching through the shoulder blades. And we do that twice more. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, maybe taking the gaze up, interlocking fingers, and then pressing the palms forward and release. Last one. Again, draw those arms right up by the ears, interlocking fingers, and then exhale, nice and active stretch through the shoulder blades. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press the palms to ceiling, and as we exhale, again, we're going to press those palms forward, lengthening through the lower back. So we did similar on Tuesday, just trying to explore that little bit of space in the lower back, resting the fingertips out in front. As we inhale, we're going to press the chest forward, draw the shoulder blades back, and see if we can create those fingertips a little bit further out away from the body. And then use that friction of the fingertips on the ground to literally press away the ground and see if we can really grind those sit bones into the earth. Inhale, press the chest forward. And then this time as we exhale, see if we can fall a little bit closer toward the earth. So hinging from the lower body here. Relax the head, relax the neck. All the time using that grip with the fingertips on the ground to creep your way out just a little bit more. One more breath here. Exhale, release. And then gently tuck the chin in, slowly make our way back up to seat. And then we're just going to reverse the crisscross of the legs here, just to give you a wee bit of balance in the hips. Open the palms to the ceiling. And then inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, palms to ceiling, and then exhale, press those palms forward. So we're trying not to roll into the chest. Keep the heart open, shoulder blades nice and strong, and then rest those fingertips out in front. As we inhale, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulder blades back. And as we exhale, see if we can hinge a little bit deeper toward the ground as we walk those fingertips away from us. And don't be worried if you're up here or if you're right dead onto the ground. We're all going to be slightly different here, depending on our lower backs, depending on our hips, even depending on our hamstrings. Relax the head, relax the neck, allow the weight of the head and the body bring you a little bit deeper into that fold. One more breath here. Exhale, release. And then gently tuck the chin in, walking those hands right back up toward the body. Lovely. We're going to come to lie back on our mats here. Keep the knees bent, feet flat to start with. Just check in you've got your tail within reach. We're going to hug the right knee in toward the chest, extend out fully through that left foot. We're going to keep the left hand on the shin, Extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down. And then we're going to shift the hips to the right and draw that right leg across the body, coming into a nice little spinal twist. We might rest that left hand on the outer thigh. If we're finding it a wee bit tricky to get into that twist, we might shift those hips a little bit more to the right until that right hip is stacked on top of the left. Taking the gaze over the right fingertips and really trying to ground that right shoulder and right arm into the mat. So if the right shoulder's coming off the mat, just lift that right knee until we can reconnect it. So we can really draw that twist the full length of the spine. Again, as we inhale, focus on drawing that breath deep into the belly, into the rib cage, into the chest. And as we exhale, just allow that leg drop over a little bit more. One more breath here. Again, just a nice little spinal rotation, releasing into the core. So just mobilizing to start with here. And then gently, we're going to inhale back to center. Keep the right knee hugged down. We're going to bend the left knee, bring the foot flat onto the ground. Resting the right ankle just above the left knee, coming into our figure four. Reconnecting that lower back to the ground. We're going to inhale, lift the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling. And then we're going to either interlock the hands behind the back of that hamstring, or if we find we're rolling into the shoulders or we're unstable in the lower back, we could reach for the towel, using it as a little extension into the arms here. Notice where that right foot's at. So right foot is nice and engaged. We're drawing the toe toward the knee and we're engaging that right glute to work that right knee away from the body. So a little bit of space into the hips here. As we inhale, walk the shoulder blades together. And as we exhale, draw that left knee a little bit closer toward the face. So we're inhaling, lengthening the spine, opening the heart. And as we exhale, draw that left knee again a little bit closer. One more breath here. Exhale, release. And then gently resting that left foot down onto the ground. We can move the towel off to the side. Hands are placed to the ground. We're going to see if we can brush the left fingertips toward the back of the left heel. And then we're going to inhale, peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground as we rise those hips toward the ceiling. See if we can walk the shoulder blades together. So creating that space into the chest so we're not dumping into the neck here. Pressing the arms and shoulders into the mat. Pressing that left foot, particularly the heel, into the mat. Feel the left glute and hamstring engage here. Keep that right foot active. Keep trying to engage that right glute to open into that right hip. Again, we're going to hold it here. If it doesn't feel so good on the right knee, again, we're drawing the right toe toward the knee, or you can come into your traditional bridge. We're going to inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, gently lower. Inhale, rise up. Nice straight line from the knee to the neck. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Try not to touch the mat, about an inch hover off the mat. Inhale, rise, full engagement. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, gently lower. We're going to inhale up one more time, coming into our traditional bridge with both feet on the ground here. I want you to imagine you've got a block between your knees here. So you've got the space of a fist maybe between your knees. We're going to keep that left foot grounded. And then we're going to inhale the right foot up toward the ceiling, press the heel toward the ceiling, but try to keep the hips lifted. Again, you can stay here holding it in your bridge, or if you want to bring a little bit of movement, we're going to inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, gently lower. Inhale, press up as high as you can go. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, press up. Really feel it in that left hamstring here and glutes. Two more. Engaging that lower back to get that lift, engaging the tummy muscles. One more. And then slowly release. We're going to cross that right leg over the left. Bring both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. Shift the hips to the right. And again, we're going to go for a spinal twist. Allow those knees drop over to the left, taking the gaze over the right fingertips. We might need to shift those hips a little bit more to the right to get fully into that twist. Nice big belly breath. So drawing that breath nice and deep into the belly, through the rib cage, into the chest. And as you exhale, just really releasing into that twist. Feel that nice release into the right glutes, lower back. And again, keeping that right shoulder grounded. Feel the expansion of the rib cage, the lengthening of the side waist. And then gently we're going to inhale it back to center. Uncross the legs. We're going to hug the left knee in toward the chest, press it away through the right foot. Nice active right leg here. We're going to keep the right hand on the shin, extend left arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down. And then we're going to shift the hips a wee bit to the left and then draw that left leg across the body to the right. Again, we might need to shift the hips a little bit more to the left so we can get that left hip almost stacked on top of the right if we can. Right hand rests on the outer left thigh. And then we're going to take that gaze over the left fingertips. Try to keep that left shoulder, left arm nice and grounded, nice and solid on the earth. And we're keeping that left knee up in line with the hip so we can really get a little bit of space into that glute. Inhale, full belly breaths. And then exhale, see if we can work into that space. And again, don't get worried if the knee's not coming over so much, the foot's not touching the ground. And if it feels a little bit unsupported, if you're holding it for a little bit longer than we are tonight, you can always place a cushion or a block underneath the leg and just really enjoy falling into the pose. One more breath here. And then gently, we're going to draw it back to center. Keep the left knee hugged in. We're going to bend the right knee, place the foot flat onto the ground. We're going to rest that left ankle just above the right knee, coming into our figure four again. Again, making sure that lower back is nice and grounded. Draw the left toe toward the knee, working the left knee away from the body. We're going to inhale, right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, foot's nice and relaxed here, but left foot still active. And then either interlocking the hands or the towel around the back of that right hamstring. See if we can work those shoulder blades together underneath the upper back. Feel that full connection, the full length of the spine as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to draw that right knee again a little bit closer toward the face. So we're inhale, lengthening the spine, opening the heart. As we exhale, draw that right knee again a little bit closer toward the face. One more breath here. Just a nice little release into that left hip and glute. Lovely. And then slowly release the right foot down onto the ground. Placing both hands onto the ground, fingertips, brush the back of that right heel here. Again, keep that left foot nice and active to protect that left knee joint. We're going to inhale, peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. Work those shoulder blades together so all the pressure is off the neck here. So we're pressing arms, shoulders, hands, that right foot, particularly the heel, into the ground. As we inhale, press those hips toward the ceiling. So we're not looking really for a back bend here. We're looking for a nice straight line from that right knee, through the leg, through the torso, all the way up to the neck. Again, you can choose to hold it here. You can come into your traditional bridge with both feet on the ground, or we're going to inhale, press the hips up. And as we exhale, gently lower toward the ground, hovering at about an inch off the mat. Inhale, pressing up, engage the tummy muscles, glutes, hamstring, gently lower as we exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale, gently lower. Two more. Slow, controlled movement, activating every little muscle, every little intrinsic stabilizer here. Slowly lower. And then we're going to inhale up. This time we're going to bring that left foot to meet the right. Again, re-engaging, imagining that block between the knees, almost pressing into that imaginary block and feeling those inner thighs engage here. We're going to inhale, extend the left foot up toward the ceiling, press the heel toward the ceiling. Now you might get a little bit more height than me. I've got a wee issue here with the hamstring. So if you want to see if you can get that angle a little bit higher, we're going to inhale, press the hips up. As we exhale, gently lower. Inhale, press up with control. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower. Two more. Last one. And then gently release the whole way. We're going to cross that left leg over the right. Bringing both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the left. And then allow both knees drop over to the right, coming into our spinal twist again. We're going to take that gaze over the left fingertips. If you need to shift the hips a little bit more to the left, so you can really feel that twist, the full length of the spine. As we inhale, draw the breath deep into the belly, rib cage, chest. And as we exhale, just allow those knees melt over just a little bit more. Feel that release in the lower back into that left glute. That nice twist and rotation through the spine, through the core. Try to engage those core muscles, particularly those tummy muscles at the very end of your exhale. Nice deep inhale, and then control that exhale. Slowly, we're going to inhale it back to center, uncross the legs. We're going to hug both knees in toward the chest, and as we exhale, we're going to draw both knees outside the line of the body, coming into a little relaxed happy baby here. See if you can ground that lower back into the mat, so we're not rocking and rolling here. Nice solid base for that lower back. As we inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling, and as we exhale again, see if we can draw the hips a little bit wider. We're not forcing it, we're not pulling as such, just allowing the weight of the hands and the arms draw us a wee bit deeper. Inhale one more time. Exhale a little bit depth. And then inhale, drawing those knees back to center. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. And again, you can come all the way up to seat, or we can rock and roll forward and back, using the motion to really massage into the full length of the spine. So take 3 or 4 rolls like that, all the way from the base of the neck right down to the sit bones. And when we've taken 3 or 4 rolls, we're going to engage with our tummy muscles to draw ourselves up to seat. Lovely. From here, we're going to come onto hands and knees into our tabletop. So again, check in with our tabletop. Hands are rooted into the ground. Fingers are widely spread. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. Elbow creases face forward. We're pressing the ground away, activating those shoulder muscles. And that's going to be really important when we start to do our planks later on in the class. So I want you to think about pressing the ground away as opposed to holding the body. Knees are about hip-width distance apart. You can tuck the toes under if the knees feel a wee bit cranky. And then we're going to inhale, press the chest forward, gaze up toward the ceiling, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, pressing into the ground, curling through the spine, really stretching those shoulders. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, curling through and release. Continue with your own breath, just mobilizing the spine, really the whole core complex here. So you should feel it in the lower back, the rib cage, in between the shoulders, right down into the hips. Nice and flowy, nice and organic. Just think about bringing that energy, that blood flow, full length of the spine. Again, really important when we're trying to engage with those core muscles that we're able to warm up and mobilize into them first. So they're nice and active, ready for action. And then gently we're going to meet back in our tabletop. So from here, we're going to keep both hands grounded. Just make sure you have a little bit of room out in front here. Heels of the hands right beneath the shoulders. From here, we're going to inhale that right foot back, pressing away through the right heel, bending the right knee, and then pressing the sole of the foot toward the ceiling, feeling that hamstring and glute engage. Notice if the belly's dropped, if you're crunching into the lower back. I'm going to really suck the belly button back toward the back of the spine. That right leg might start to drop, so you might have to re-engage with that right glute. We're going to inhale, extend that left arm out in front. Keep the gaze nice and relaxed. So we're just looking down toward the mat, not out in front, not back toward the belly. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to press away through that right heel now. So fingertips are extended and we're pressing back through a nice extended right leg here. As we inhale, we're going to bend that left elbow, draw it into the right knee to touch. Exhale, extend it out. We're going to inhale center. This time as we exhale, we're going to bring that left hand to the left, right foot to the right, as far as we can go. Inhale back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, left knee, right elbow in. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale. This time exhale, left hand out, right foot out. Inhale back to center. Pause, exhale. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale it out. Inhale, hold. Exhale, left arm, right foot out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hold. Inhale, bend left elbow, right knee into touch. So you're going to continue that to your own breath. Remember to pause between. We're going to keep that arm and leg nice and high. Last one, center. We're going to rest that left hand down, coming onto the ball of the right foot, pressing away through the right heel. Hold it for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to swivel on the left knee, bringing the outer blade of that right foot parallel to the back of the mat. Staying on the left hand, we're going to bring that right hand to rest in the waist, and we're going to open the heart, really drawing that right shoulder back. So from here, we're going to keep the left hand grounded. If you need to come up onto the fingertips or a block, please do. Try to keep the hip over the knee. We're going to inhale, gently lift that right foot off the ground. Keep the right foot active, keep pressing away through the right heel, keep the tummy muscles engaged. So we're looking for a bit of glute activation here. We're going to inhale, lift a little bit more. As we exhale, gently lower the foot toward the ground, hovering about 1 inch off the mat. Inhale as high as we can go. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale up. Exhale, slowly lower. 3 more. So it's slow control movement, looking for that glute activation. So you get to about 45 using those hip abductors. Then the rest of the way we need to turn on those glutes, which are really important, our powerhouses. Last one. Lovely. Rest the foot down. Extend the right arm up toward the ceiling and just take a nice little stretch. So bringing that right arm out in front, reaching toward the front of the room, drawing the shoulder back. Hold it here. Really reaching through the fingertips for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing the right hand back to meet left. Swiveling on that left knee. Right knee comes back to meet the other. And again, we're going to do the same on the other side when you're ready. So we're going to press back through that left foot to start with, pressing away through the heel. We're going to bend the left knee, press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. So getting a little bit of glute and hamstring activation here. Again, sucking that belly button back toward the back of the spine, re-engaging the glute to get that lift. From here, we're going to keep the left hand grounded, heel of the hand below the shoulder, and then extend that right arm out in front. Hold it here for 3. Press the sole of the foot up for 2 and 1. We're going to lengthen through the left leg, pressing away through the left heel. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, bend right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out, lift. Inhale, center. Exhale, right hand comes out, left foot goes out to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hold. Inhale, right elbow, left knee to touch. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale here. Exhale, right arm, left foot out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hold. Inhale, right elbow, left knee in. Exhale, extend it out. Continue one more with your own breath. So I know there's a lot of thought here, but I do want you to bring that breath in. Control the movement, control the breath. Last one, extend it out, and then we're going to bring that right hand back to meet left, coming on to the ball of the left foot. Gentle little stretch into the back of the leg, nothing too intense. For 3, for 2, and 1. Keeping the right hand grounded, right knee, we're going to swivel on, and we're going to drop that left outer blade of the foot parallel to the back of the mat. Bringing the left hand to the hip. Again, we're going to draw that left shoulder back. We can press the hips forward, so feel that lower back get nice and strong here as well. And again, if that's enough, if you just want to bring a nice stretch into it, you can always do it here. If you want to join me, we're going to inhale that left foot off the ground. Keep the left heel, left toe really active. And just even notice how it feels from one side to the other. So I know this is my dodgy side. I'm not getting as high with my leg, but I'm really trying to train those muscles here. We're going to inhale, lift as much as you can. Exhale, gently lower. Hover the foot about 1 inch off the ground. Inhale up, glute engages. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. 3 more. We might even find this at our right glute here as well. So we're concentrating on the left, but we'll also feel a little bit of a activation here in our right. And we'll just do 1 more here. As high as you can go. Exhale, lower the foot all the way. Extend the left arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to extend that left arm overhead, reaching to the front of the room, Drawing the shoulder open, getting a lovely stretch all the way along the side waist for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently releasing that left hand back to meet right, swiveling on the knee, coming back in to our tabletop. Lovely. From here, we're going to tuck both toes under. We're going to sit back onto the heels, gently press the ground out away in front. Maybe bring the hands a little bit further toward the front of the mat. Spreading through the fingers, sitting back as much as you can, getting a nice little stretch into the arches of the feet, maybe wiggling through the toes, stretching between the toes themselves. When you're ready, we're going to press those arms actively into the ground. Inhale the hips up toward the ceiling as high as we can go. And then exhale, gently lower those heels down toward the ground. So feet are a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. We're really lifting those hips toward the ceiling. We're drawing the heart down toward the mat. Taking the gaze back toward the knees, toward the bellies. And then we're just going to gently walk it out. Nice and easy, allowing opposite heels melt toward the ground here as we walk it out in our downward dog. All the time, I want you to think about those nice strong shoulders. So it's going to come, again, very important when we move into our plank poses. So we're pressing the ground away as opposed to holding our body in the pose. Coming to stillness here in our downward dog. We're going to look forward between the hands, gently walk to the front of the mat, nice and easy. Come to a nice deep forward fold. We're not going to hold it here for too long. Just allow the head and neck fully relax. Allow a little release into the lower back. And then gently tucking the chin in, we're going to slowly rise our way up to stand. Head comes up last. Lovely. Take a drink if you need it. We're going to go through a few little rounds of our sun salutations. Again, pardon me, with a focus on, sorry, on our planks this evening. Okay, so when you're ready, come into the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, and really feeling all corners of the feet into the mat. We're going to place the hands to heart center, press the palms together. Draw the heart forward, draw the shoulder blades back together. Almost imagining that you're trying to hold something between your shoulder blades. Again, notice here if you're kind of going into a little arch into the back. So I want you to, even if it means placing your hands on your hip bones, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. So kind of rotate the pelvis forward. Feel that release in the lower back, feel the glutes engaged and feel those tummy muscles engaged. And we want to try and hold that one in our practice. So again, hands to heart. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Nice flat back. Really pressing the chest forward here, drawing those shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge. Left foot to meet it, first plank. Okay, really important we get these alignments. So we're shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. Hands, fingers are nicely spread. Finger pressure is into the pads and the knuckles. So try and stay light enough on the wrists if we can. And then we're going to really press the ground away here. So we don't want to see the shoulders up here where you're putting pressure on your shoulders. Press the ground away like you're pressing against a wall. Pressing back through the heels. Again, if you need to come to the knees, do. But just keep that core strong and the spine long so the bum doesn't pop up into the air. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows tucked in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, press into the ground, downward dog. So even when we're working into our downward dog, we're pressing the ground away. Gently walk it out. Give the body a little release, particularly the backs of those legs, nice and easy. Relax the head, relax the neck. When you're ready, we're going to inhale. Right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge with control. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, hold it, nice strong plank here. Notice where the hips are at, notice if they've fallen toward the ground, notice if the bum's up in the air. So we want to draw a nice straight line from the base of the neck, through the spine, through the legs, and then again press away through those heels. Feel the leg muscles engage. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Again, walking it out, pressing the ground away. We're going to inhale that left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge, right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round, when you're ready. Again, meeting at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Engage the core. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Again, you can stay here in your high plank. You can work it onto your knees if you wish. Otherwise, we're going to come down onto our forearms. We're going to bring that left forearm parallel to the front of the mat and come over onto the outer blade of that left foot. Keep pressing that left forearm into the ground to take the pressure off that shoulder. We're going to bring the right hand to the waist, slightly different to if you were with me on Tuesday. This time, as we inhale, again, if you need to bring the left knee to the ground, you can. As we inhale, we're going to press the hips toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to gently lower the hips toward the ground until we're about half an inch off the ground. Inhale, press up as high as we can go. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. 4 more. As high as we can go. Really engaging those obliques. Last 2. Really pressing that left arm into the ground. Take that pressure off the shoulder. Last 1. Excellent. Again, we're going to slowly bring that right forearm back to the mat. Come back into our forearm plank. Re-engage those nice strong shoulder muscles. And then we're going to step it back into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Elbows in, roll the heart forward. Press the feet into the ground. Roll those shoulder blades back together. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. So again, keep thinking about pressing the ground away. I know I keep saying it, but it's just so important to keep the arms strong, the shoulders strong. We're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to your center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, if you wish to stay here working in your high plank, by all means do. Otherwise, coming slowly onto the forearms. We're going to bring that right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Coming onto the outer blade of that right foot. Again, checking the shoulders over the elbow. And we're pressing that forearm into the ground, taking the pressure off that shoulder. Left hand comes to the waist. And we're drawing the left shoulder back. So keep the heart nice and open here. As we inhale, press that left hip toward the ceiling. As we exhale, gently lower till it's about half an inch off the ground. Inhale, press up. Exhale, slowly lower. Slow movement. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower. 4 more. Try to get as much height as you can. So you're really having to engage those side muscles, those core muscles. A little bit into the glutes here too. Last 2, you're doing really good. Even though I have my back to you. The last one. And then gently lower. We're going to bring both forearms parallel to the front of the mat. Coming back into our forearm plank. Re-engage those shoulders. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. From here, we're going to come onto the forearms. We're going to come into our little Sphinx pose again here. And again, notice if we've dumped into the shoulders. So I want you to press the forearms into the ground, draw those shoulders back, press the chest forward, and use the friction of the fingertips on the ground to literally pull the ground towards you as you draw the chest forward. See if you can engage the leg muscles, pressing the feet into the ground. Engage the tummy muscles, taking the pressure off the lower back. Relax the head, relax the neck. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. You can stay here for the next few breaths, and we might bring it into seal pose. So we're bringing out our hands into little seal flippers, splaying the fingers, placing them onto the ground, gently pressing the hands into the ground, lifting the chest a little bit further forward, drawing those shoulders back. But again, we're not locking out through the arms, so still a little bend to the elbows. Again, notice if you're dumping into the lower back, see if you can really engage those tummy muscles. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release onto the forearms. We're going to bring those hands back in line with the chest, tuck the toes under, and then gently press it back into our downward dog. Walking it out nice and easy. We're going to inhale that right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last round of sun salutations. Again, a little variation here as well. We're going to come to the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hands to heart. Take a breath here. Notice if you've been holding it, relax the shoulders, draw them back together. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Here we can either step or lightly jump back to plank. Okay, so if we're jumping, hands are grounded, nice deep bend to the knees. We're going to spring load on the balls of the feet, lift the hips up, and then gently, lightly land back in our plank, nice and strong. We're going to inhale here. We're going to hold it in our plank, but we're going to bring a little bit of a toe tap here. Again, if you need to come to the knees, by all means do, but keep that core strong, spine long. We're going to inhale center. As we exhale, we're going to bring that right foot to tap out to the side as far as we can go. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left foot comes out as far, but keep the plank. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Keep pressing the ground away. Continue. Don't forget the breath. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. One more, both sides. Brilliant. Back into our plank. From here, we can either lower knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga if you've been practicing Chaturanga. So if you're in Chaturanga, draw the chest forward, keep those elbows tucked in. Draw the chest forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back, engage the tummy. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Pressing the ground away, gently walking it out. Again, check in with that breath. Notice if you're holding it in the chest. I want you to really focus on drawing it into the belly and really into that rib cage, getting that lovely expansion into the rib cage. Come into stillness here in our downward dog. So again, we can either step the right foot forward or we can lightly jump to the front of the mat. Looking forward to where we want those feet to land. We're going to bend at the knees, spring load at the feet, lift those hips, and then gently land at the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Last side, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Again, stepping or lightly jumping back to plank with control, landing nice and easy. Inhale here. Again, we're going to hold in at our plank. This time we're going to introduce a few little shoulder taps. So again, if you need to drop to the knees, don't be afraid. Don't feel it in the shoulders. We want to feel this in the core. We're going to inhale center. As we exhale, tap the left hand to the right shoulder. Inhale back. Exhale, right to left. So gentle shoulder taps. Keeping the plank form. So try not to let the hips drop. Try not to let the hips pop up. Again, pressing the ground away all the time, keeping the core strong, keeping the pressure off that upper body. Last one, both sides. And then meeting back in our plank. Again, inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga to the ground. Elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog, walking it out, nice and easy. From our downward dog here, we're going to gently lower onto the knees, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels, coming into a nice relaxed child's pose. Resting the head down onto the ground or onto a block or pillow if it doesn't quite get there. And then we're going to rest the hands back by the feet. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Feel that lovely release throughout the full length of the spine. Feel the shoulders melt toward the ground. Allow the breath relax. When you're ready, we're going to bring those hands back out in front, tuck the chin in, and then gently walk the hands back toward the knees until we're sitting back up onto the heels. Rolling over onto the right side, we're going to extend those legs out in front. If you have a block, we're going to use it now. Again, if you need to take a drink, it's a nice time. We're going to work a little bit into our core here, our tummy muscles and our lower back. Okay, so it's all about the core, but we're just going to focus a little bit more here. If you have the block, use it. If you don't, we can improvise, so don't worry about it. We're going to lie down onto the ground to start with. Really feeling that lower back, pressing it into the ground and feeling the full length of the spine engage with the mat. From here, we're going to bend that right knee in toward the face. We're going to get a block and we're going to rest the block lengthways. We're going to place it just above the right knee and then we're going to get our right elbow and we're going to hook it in place. And then we're going to rest our head into our right elbow, okay? If you don't have a block, you're going to do the same thing with your leg, but you're just going to bring your arm, your elbow, allow it drop out nice and wide, but you're still going to lift the head up. If it's too much in the neck, you can rest the head down and just focus on the lower abs, okay? So from here, we've hooked the block in between the elbow and the leg. We're going to press away through that left heel. So press that left heel out, hovering it off the ground at about 45 degrees, maybe a little bit shallower, but keep checking in that the lower back is flat onto the ground. The left hand can either rest on the belly or onto the ground beside us, whatever feels good to you. So again, we can hold it here. That's a lovely little engagement in itself. Or when you're ready, we're going to inhale that left knee in to the right, and then exhale, press away through the left heel, pressing the lower back into the ground. Inhale, center. Exhale, press that left foot away. Inhale, center. Exhale, press it away. Really important to keep pressing that lower back into the ground. So we're keeping the lower back engaged as we work into the abs. So we're trying to get away from that traditional crunch where we're just crunching into the front of the body and we're weakening into the back. So this little sequence is trying to develop a balanced strength as we work into the core. 2 more. Again, if it's too much in the neck at any stage, do rest the head down. Last one. Lovely. Back to center. Gently release the head, gently release the feet. We're going to go straight over to the other side here before we take our little break. So we're going to bend that left knee, place the block just above the left knee. Again, hook it in place with the left elbow, resting the nape of the neck into that left hand, or if you don't have a block, we're drawing the elbow nice and wide, okay? Don't think about pulling the chin into the chest. Think about pressing the chest up toward the ceiling and you'll automatically feel that release on the neck. So we're not pulling on the head, we're pressing the chest up toward the ceiling. Again, we're going to extend that right foot out, press it away through the heel, grind that lower back into the mat. And again, we might just hold it here if that's enough. Or if you wish to join me, we're going to inhale, bend that right knee into touch. Exhale, press it away. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Continue with your own breath. Again, if you're finding it in the neck, another nice little trick is to place the tongue to the top of the mouth, and it just releases a few of those little neck muscles, takes the pressure off. Again, it might make a difference. But again, don't force it. If it doesn't feel good in the neck, you're still going to be working into that lower part of the abs, so don't worry about it. Again, the lower you get that right foot to the ground, the more engagement you're going to get in the lower abs. But again, you don't want that lower back to peel off the mat. 2 more. The last one. Brilliant. Relax the head, bring those feet back to the ground. Place the block off to the side. We're going to bring the feet about the width of the mat apart. Allow the knees knocked together. We're going to draw those arms out into cactus arms and just draw the shoulders together. Gently inhale at center, and as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right, take the gaze over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees drop to the left, gaze to the right. And just take a few more nice, relaxed, easy breaths here. Just wringing out the spine, that little windscreen wiper under the knees, side to side. Little release into the neck. When you're ready, we're going to meet back in center. So again, if you have a block, we're going to use it here again. We're going to hold our block at its shorter ends, and then we're going to lift both knees. So coming to about 90 degrees, you might need to hug the knees in a little bit more. Place that block just above the knees. This time, we're going to hook the block in place using both elbows. Again, resting the neck into the hands, but we're pressing the chest toward the ceiling. So essentially, really, we shouldn't feel any weight in the neck at all. We're thinking about pressing the chest up. Again, if you don't have the block, same position with the legs, maybe closer to 90 degrees. We're placing the hands again just above the neck, so just between the neck and the head, bringing those elbows nice and wide. And again, we're focusing on pressing the chest toward the ceiling, not hugging that neck in, or that chin in, should I say. Okay. We're going to challenge here, if you have the block, is to keep the block from falling. We're going to inhale center. As we exhale, we're going to press away through that right heel, pressing the lower back into the ground. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press away through that left foot. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Back to center. Exhale left. Two more both sides. Again, if it becomes too much, just release, or maybe release the head. So again, don't battle through the sequence. You want to feel strong. You want to feel supported, particularly that lower back. Last one. Excellent. Gently release the head first. Release the block, release the feet. And then we're just going to hug those knees into the chest. Give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit on that lower back. Nice and easy. Little twists, little rotations. Well done. And then from here, we're going to crisscross at the ankles. Gently roll our way forward to the front of the mat, using that core engagement. Just make sure your block is off the mat here, because we're going to be doing one last little sequence. Bringing the hands to the front of the mat, we're going to step back onto all fours. Pressing the ground away, we're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips toward the ceiling, drop the heels back, coming back into our downward dog. Nice and easy, walking it out, nice and slowly. Just getting a nice little release. Maybe rocking the head side to side just to release that neck a little bit. Keep those hips lifted, keep pressing the ground away. We're going to look forward between the hands, gently walk to the front of the mat, nice and easy. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, roll our way back up to center. And then gently meet and stand. If you need a drink before our last little core sequence, good idea now. Lovely. Okay, when you're ready. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Take a breath here, just ground yourself. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping or lightly jumping back to plank, your choice. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Keep those elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog, walking it out nice and easy. So the next little sequence, you can do it with the left knee on the ground. If you want to try it with it off to begin with, and if it's too strong on the shoulders, gently drop onto that left knee. So again, don't force the sequence. Coming to stillness here in our downward dog, really pressing the ground away out front. We're going to inhale that right leg up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee and draw it forward to touch the right elbow as we move forward into plank. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to gently lower that right knee toward the wrist. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Back up to the elbow. For 3, for 2, and 1. Excellent. Inhale that right leg up.
This time as we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee to touch the left elbow as we move forward into plank. Again, feel if you need to come down onto the left knee. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently lower that right knee toward the wrist for 3. Keep the shoulders strong for 2, and 1. Back up to the elbow for 3, for 2, and 1. Excellent. Inhale that right leg back. This time we're going to look forward between the hands. Step that right foot into lunge. Nice and slowly with control. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the left leg off the ground. We're going to keep the right hand on the ground. We might bring it a little bit farther out in front. Bring the left hand to the hip, and then we're going to open the hip to the left side of the room as much as we can. Again, if you wish to challenge the balance, you can always hover the fingertips off the ground. Keep the left foot active if you can. For 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to meet the right. We're going to bend that left knee, place it to the back of the right knee. Again, drawing that left heel toward the bum, keeping the left foot nice and active. Again, here, you might hover the fingertips off the ground, or you might bring the hands to heart center. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Place those hands back down onto the ground. Left foot comes to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Again, stepping or lightly jumping back to plank with control. Nice and strong in that upper body. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Draw the heart forward, untuck the toes, press those feet into the ground. Draw those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Again, gently walking it out. Keep those arms strong. Keep pressing the ground away, lifting the hips. We're going to come to stillness here. So same little sequence on the other side. Again, if you know, come down onto that right knee. So don't force it, particularly if you're finding it in the shoulders. We're going to inhale the left leg up. As we exhale, bend the left knee forward to touch the left elbow as we move all the way into our plank. So shoulders should be over the wrists here. Hold for 3. Keep the left foot lifted for 2. And 1. We're going to lower the left knee toward the left wrist. Hover for 3. For 2. And 1. Knee comes back to elbow. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, extend that left leg back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow forward into twist as we come in to our plank for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower the knee toward the wrist for 3. Keep pressing the ground away for 2, and 1. Back to the elbow for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, press back through that left leg. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to step that left foot into lunge. Keeping those fingertips on the ground, spring loading on the ball of that right foot. With control, we're going to inhale the right foot off the ground. We're going to keep that left hand out in front, bring the right hand to the right hip. See if we can open the hips to the right side of the room. Keep the right foot engaged. Lift the leg as much as you can. So again, I know this is my stronger side, so I can get a little bit higher with the leg. But again, it's a lovely little challenge. Maybe draw that right shoulder back. Maybe hover the fingertips off the ground. See if you can hold it with that standing leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Right fingertips come back to the mat. Last little bit, we're going to bend that right knee. Place it just behind the left knee. Draw the right heel toward the bum. Keep the right foot nice and active. Again, we can stay here. We might hover the fingertips off the ground, or we might bring the hands to heart center. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Lovely. Bring those hands back to the mat, stepping that right foot up to meet left, and then exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rising all the way up to stand, hands extended up. Exhale, last little vinyasa, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping or lightly jumping back to plank. Inhale here, last plank, I promise. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground, baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Walk it out, let it go. Nice and easy. Maybe rocking the hips a little bit side to side. Maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, getting a nice little stretch into the obliques, into the side waist. Nice and easy. And then from here, we're going to gently come down onto the knees, sitting back up onto the heels. Again, just rolling over onto our right side. We're going to bring both legs out in front, bending at the knees, and we're just going to sit nice and tall into the spine here. So holding on to the shins, nice little loose angle between the knees. And again, we're going to draw the chest forward. So just notice if you're still dumping into that lower back. Using a little bit of connection on the shins, we're going to draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, see if we can get that core to engage. And then we're just going to bring the hands behind us, fingertips point back. And again, notice if you're dumping into those shoulders, keep pressing that chest forward. We're going to bring the feet nice and wide, allow the knees knock together, and then just gently, windscreen wiper, the knees side to side, maybe taking the gaze the opposite way as to where the knees are falling. So again, just wringing it out, nice and easy. Really pressing those glutes into the mat, just getting a nice little self massage here. Excellent, and then come into stillness here. So from here, we're going to gently lie back onto the mat. If you do have a block, you can have it within reach here. If you don't worry about it. So we're going to lie back onto the mat. Allow the feet extend fully. Allow the feet drop out by the sides. Arms are down by the sides. Palms are open to the ceiling. We're going to walk those shoulder blades together. Now, if you do have a block, from here, so if you don't, we can stay here, just closing down the eyes, allow the body melt into the ground. If we do have a block, we're going to bend the knees, bring the feet flat onto the ground. Gently press the hips toward the ceiling, just enough to place the block underneath that nice little flat part of the back. So it's that little bit in between the bum and the back. So we don't want it underneath the arch of the back, and we don't want it underneath the bum, just that nice little flat part in between until we feel nice and stable. And then we can extend the legs out like we just did. Again, if you feel like you want another little bit of space into the front of the pelvis, you can always bring that block up to its second level. So don't go any higher than the second level. It's not going to be very supportive, so it's a little bit extreme. So again, just allowing those feet drop out, arms out, chest to the ceiling, shoulder blades together, closing down the eyes, and just allowing the body literally melt into the ground. So as we inhale, again, drawing that breath nice and deep into the belly, into the rib cage, into the chest. And as we exhale, just side out and let it go. So every inhale, think about the body nearly rising toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, just let it fall toward the earth. Notice if you're holding any tension, any little niggle in any part of the body. Maybe it's in the face, maybe it's in the hands, maybe it's the feet, the hips. And again, don't ignore that niggle. Maybe even acknowledge it, embrace it, really tense into that niggle, into that point of tension. And as you exhale, again, just sigh it out, release and let it go. And again, we could stay here for a lot longer. And if you do wish to come back into your final Savasana after class, by all means do, if you've got a little bit of time. Particularly the one supported by the block, it's a lovely way of just expanding into the front of the body. If we do still have the block in place, we're going to gently bend the knees, bringing the feet flat onto the ground. Gently lift those hips toward the ceiling, again, just enough to remove the block, and then rest the lower back nice and firmly down onto the ground. And wherever we're at, we're going to extend out through the legs. We're going to bring the arms back overhead. We're going to bring the feet together, arms together, really reaching through the fingertips, really reaching through the toes, and just taking a lovely full long body stretch here, like you've just woken out of a deep sleep.
And then we're going to hug those knees in toward the chest, give them a nice little squeeze. And then release the feet, release the breath. Gently rolling over onto our right hand side. Just take a breath here. Take a moment. And whenever you're ready, we're going to press that left hand into the ground to slowly press our way back up to seat. Nice and easy. Head comes up last. And just make your way to any comfortable seat for you. So it could be easy cross-legged, it could be legs extended out, you could be sitting back on your heels. Wherever you're at, just see if we can engage, but hopefully you're really feeling that core engagement a little bit more than when we started. And we're going to finish like we started. So again, open the palms to the ceiling, sitting nice and tall into the spine. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press those palms forward, release, and just sigh that breath out through the lips and let it go. We'll do that twice more. Nice, big, relaxed, circular breaths. And then exhale, sigh it out, release, and let it go. Last one. And then gently bring the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together, closing down the eyes. And just thanking yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your week to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely strength and energy tonight, and hopefully take that with you into the evening and into the weekend ahead. And thank you as always for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.